What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. I want to talk on Jim Cramer, what he recently said and why that is very bullish for Lucid. Outside of that, I want to talk on the rumors when it comes down to the 𝗪𝗡𝗓 possibly getting pushed back. So I want to explain what that might mean for us as investors. I'm going to go over all that fun stuff, but before I do, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. With that, let's get right to it. So Jim Cramer, as you can see right here, recently said that Lucid is not a buy because they are losing too much money. He does say, though, I love the car. So a little bit more inconsistent information, but Jim Cramer saying that it is not a buying opportunity might mean it is the best time to buy. Jim Cramer, typically whatever he does say, opposite happens. This is why ETFs are out there, inverse ETFs for Jim Cramer. So hopefully those ETFs might buy Lucid behind the scenes. But with this aside though, I just want to talk on how hypothetically Lucid's been holding up very well. Facebook had horrible earnings. Google and also Microsoft had subpar earnings. So the fact that Lucid's at $14 after hours and holding up very well, that is a very positive sign going forward. So let me know your thoughts on that. Maybe because Jim Cramer is saying it's a sell means it is the bottom is in possibly. So keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But moving on from that, this was posted on Twitter by Let's Go Lucid, and it talks on the 𝗪𝗡𝗓, the delivery dates more specifically. It mentions as of 2022, so up to date, there has been no deliveries made. Production on the 𝗪𝗡𝗓 is expected to begin this quarter, which is Q4, and that does match exactly with what Bears Workshop, the flyovers, show about the 𝗪𝗡𝗓. I do believe, though, that a couple did squeak through in Q3, so let me know your thoughts on that and if you did see that or if maybe I'm just imagining it, but I believe some did squeak in Q3. But moving on from that though, and delivery for this trim of the Lucid Air is expected in early to mid 2023. And coming from an investor standpoint though, this is not what we want to hear. The 𝗪𝗡𝗓, in my opinion, like I've done a lot of videos on, the 𝗪𝗡𝗓 was going to be a very big aspect for Lucid. Based on the Q2 earnings, majority of the reservations are of the 𝗪𝗡𝗓. So the people want a lower price vehicle. The people want the 𝗪𝗡𝗓. Why are we not delivering out on that? So a little bit more inconsistent information. This is coming from an investor standpoint that we do not want to see or hear at all. But it does further say right here, since the single motor option is not currently an option on any of the Lucid Air trims already in production, you can expect to wait even longer than Q1 2023. We would estimate that this option would put you back into receiving a VIN in maybe Q2 or Q3. So like I said, going back to a investor standpoint, this isn't what we want to know or see at all. So let me know your thoughts on that. Definitely when it comes down to production, I really was a very big fan of the 𝗪𝗡𝗓. And unfortunately, Lucid did recently send out an email about the Air touring. So hopefully they don't push the 𝗪𝗡𝗓 back enough so that a lot of the reservation holders just kind of get tired with Lucid and just exit out. So that might be a circumstance that us as investors need to kind of keep in mind. And this news, or I guess possibly it is as of right now just a rumor, but when it comes down to Lucid, 9 times out of 10 all the rumors that have come out are very much true, unfortunately. But when it comes down to this though, this isn't what I wanted to see. We've been on a nice change of good positive news coming out, more so around Saudi Arabia, but still Saudi Arabia does equate to basically Lucid in other words. So I think that is going to be a little bit more of a negative. Hopefully they do elaborate on that in the Q3 earnings. So in case you guys do not know, November the 8th is their upcoming earnings. I'm going to be live streaming that. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. But as I've said in the last couple of videos, I'm going to be starting to give you updates every single day on this because this is a very big deal. There's very few opportunities that we can actually pin Lucid management down and get actual answers. So coming from an investor, we can actually vote on a lot of the questions. So as you can see, these are all the questions that you could hypothetically vote on when it comes down to that though. Typically they only ask and answer the top 3 questions. In Q2 they did answer a little bit more because they probably felt bad for us, but the top question as of right now is still the same one as I gave update on yesterday. So in regards to utilizing the railway. So when are you planning to start building and utilizing the railroad transportation in Casa Grande factory? So definitely I've done a video on this whole aspect in among itself, how that would reduce costs significantly. So I completely agree that this is a very, very good question. There's 328.7 thousand shares that is being represented in this actual question. So that's very good. Looks like there are about 1,000 cars that have been produced and not delivered. Why is that? And where are the cars stored? Again, this is also another very good question, because based on what they announced in their Q3 as far as what they produced versus delivered, there is that little bit more of an inconsistent gap. So whether they are actually the peers that maybe they're just storing off site until they can actually get the trim or some other aspects, I don't know, maybe fit and finish. There's a lot of different things is up in the air. Unfortunately, as I've typically said, Lucid isn't the most transparent company. But this is why this is a very important thing, that you need to really vote on a lot of good questions out there. There's a ton of questions as well right here, just basically saying, is any plans for a lower priced entry model? Well, plain and simple, they've already answered that. Mid-decade, $50,000 vehicle, midsize SUV, that kind of thing. Will Lucid build a 6 or 7 seater sport SUV with a minimum 500-mile range? That, in my opinion, sorry if this is going to offend you, this is a stupid question. Again, it's basically, I already answered that. Midsize SUV could incorporate that, or even a Gravity as well. Definitely something that you need to really think about. Projected of approximate when Lucid will sell 1 million vehicles. Again, we need to get through at least 10,000 vehicles. Why are you already asking about 1 million? Does not make sense. And the fact that 79.2 thousand shares are represented in this, that completely is mind-blowing. Guaranteed, if they are ever asked this question, you're most likely going to have Sherry House step in and saying, given the circumstances, they have a lot of good projections going forward, and 2025 and the future will be very bright for Lucid. They will not answer that question directly. They'll just try to push it off. So a lot of these questions are very stupid, and even more so right here. I don't even understand this. Let me know your thoughts on this actual question. When will cars be sold to the public? Like, what does that mean? This is why they probably answered a fourth question in the Q2 earnings. They probably got some stupid question like this. I was like, okay, I really feel bad for them. I think actually, in all honesty, Sherry House did step in and asked another question. It wasn't Peter that did prompt it. It was Sherry House that kind of stepped in. So definitely very interesting, but I'm going to stress this because you need to vote for a lot of these questions, because this is a very good opportunity for us as investors to hold the management down and get very good answers. But when it comes down to the PIF, there was a very large document, a 110-page document that was posted all about the PIF. So if you do have any questions about the PIF, you ever wanted to know what they do based on their 2030 plan, what are they investing in, one of which obviously is Lucid, definitely take a look at this. I'm going to put this link in the description below as well. So just pop over there just to show you guys and just explain it to you. So it does talk on a lot of good things in this document. So like I said, just take a look at this. So with that though, I want to cap it all off with some technical analysis. A lot of people are talking on the $15 price point. That is a very big pivot point, because if we can hypothetically get above that, then we can easily get to around the 1660 range. And I did recently do a little bit more of a technical analysis with the Elliott wave, and in the short term we can easily get to around the 1650 if we can officially get over this $15 mark. So it's just a lot of good domino effects, and right now we do have some pretty good strong momentum behind us. So let me know your thoughts on that. And like I said, we're holding up fairly well, in all honesty, especially considering with all the negative earnings. And this week is the tech week per se. So like I said, I think we have a lot of good opportunity for us going forward. And over and above that though, just looking at stochastic, you do see a nice deviation. So white line above the red right here, showing a nice bullish sentiment is there. So matching with exactly what Jim Cramer is inversely saying. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. It's always greatly appreciated. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.